All right, let's talk a little bit about the Mail app. Now, the Mail app is not as comprehensive as the traditional mail clients that have, usually been used in Windows. Outlook is Microsoft's own professional mail application, and this has a lot of similar features to that app, but it's nowhere near as in depth. However, I still believe it can be used in a professional environment, provided you don't have a lot of employees that you need to be distributing these applications to. So this is what the Mail app looks like. Now, depending on when you are viewing this video, you may not be able to get this specific view of it. However, this is something that will be coming in the near future. So as of right now, I'm running build 10547 of Windows in the Insider program, which lets you preview applications and new features coming to Windows in the future. So we're not exactly sure when that's going to be coming out rather. So if your mail app doesn't look like this, that is something that you can look forward to. Let's go into the settings real quick just so we can talk about that. So first of all, let's start with personalization since we're talking about that. If you go into the personalization settings, you can actually choose what you want your mail app to look like. So by default, the mail app would look something like this kind of blue background here, blue accent, but you're able to change that to make it look basically however you would like. So you can have a dark theme, so that makes everything black here, and then you can have a background picture that extends throughout the application. So as you can see, this background image kind of extends when you don't have a message selected, when you're not reading a message, you'll see that background. And you can set this any way that you like, so you can use a personal photograph if you'd like. And then you can change the accent color. So I could change this to red or orange, or you could use whatever accent color you're using in the personalization settings of Windows. In my case, I'm just using gray right now. Now let's go through the other features here. So as you are in the kind of settings view or the windowed view here where you can see the messages in a separate pane, you have these hover actions. So when you hover over a message, you have different options. I could delete this or I could flag it. However, it doesn't have to be set this way. You can actually completely customize what actions show up here for you. So you would go into settings, and then options, and then it's under swipe actions. So swipe right or hover right, I could make that, let's say that is mark as red. So now when I go back over there, I think it'll have to refresh, yeah. So there we go. So now that it's refreshed, when I hover over this, if I click this, this will change it from being red or unread and vice versa. And then so there are different options here. You could also have delete, set flag, or clear flag, or you could even have it as archive. Now this does work with touch as well. And oops, you can see drag and drop is available. So if you use touch, you can swipe a direction to do one of those actions. Mark as red, archive, whatever you have selected. So it does work nicely with touch. Now in addition, you may want to set some notification settings within the app here. So by default, when a new email comes in, you'll get a notification in the Action Center, but it won't pop up onto the screen. So you can click this to show the banner, which will pop up on the screen whenever you get a new email. And then you can also choose to play a sound. So I'll go ahead and set that way for myself. Now you also may want to customize the syncing settings. So if you go into your email address there under accounts, you can change the sync settings so that you are notified when items arrive. So commonly this would be referred to as push versus these other settings would be fetch. So Windows would go out every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hourly, or once a day to look for your email. Or if you set it as items arrive, then it will just constantly be fetching email for you. So in a corporate environment, this is probably the setting that you would want to choose. Now, another feature that is used very frequently in a professional environment is an email signature. Unfortunately, this app does not support HTML or rich text editing, but it just has a plain text signature. So you can set this to be whatever you want, but you are limited in terms of just using that plain text. Now you can also turn on send automatic replies so that you can send out replies automatically if you're going to be on vacation or something. You can set a reply here so that people will be notified if they email you. Just remember to turn that off when you get back. Now another nice feature here is you can just right click on any email and then choose a number of different actions. So move would just be move it to another folder, mark as read, set flag, delete, or archive. Over here you have some favorite folders, and you can look at more of those, and then if you would like, you can say right click on it and then add that to favorites, and that puts that over there. Now in addition, if you have a particular folder that you would like to see right on your start screen, so if I wanted to see this one, I could say pin to start, and then that will automatically create a tile that will put this specific folder right on my start screen. And that may make it a lot easier for you to access folders that you use very frequently. All right, now there's one other thing I want to talk about in the mail application, and that is in composing an email. So obviously you can click here, new mail, to create a new email, or you can obviously reply to an existing email. So let me just go ahead and show you what that looks like. So up at the top, you have three different menus: the format, insert, and options. Format gives you the ability to use rich text editing features, which is fantastic. A lot of mobile mail applications don't give you a whole lot there, but this essentially gives you some of the most basic tools for Microsoft Word. So we'll just type a sample sentence here. And I'll just show you exactly how this works. So you can obviously bold, italicize, or underline any piece of text. In addition, you can change the font, and these are all of the different Windows fonts that are available here. So you have a huge selection of different fonts to use. And then you have the option of changing the size of that text. You can highlight the text, change the font color, and then there's a one-click button here to go ahead and clear the formatting. In addition, you can create a bulleted list or a numbered list, and then you can do indent, the justification, left, center, right, and then also add line spacing. So there is some very high-end, some very special features in here as well. You've got undo and redo, and different bold, and then different heading styles as well, quote styles. So it's a very rich way to compose an email. So this won't look like it's coming from a mobile email client when you set it out. So that's very professional. In addition, you can also attach files, add a table, add pictures, or create a link. So this is just a way to attach basically a link to a website, so that's a little bit easier. So this is fantastic, and this shows up in a conversation view by default. So when you compose this email, it shows up underneath the original email when you had received that. Now some of you may not like that. There is a way that you can change that. Let me find that here. Yes, here it is. So under the settings and then options, you can choose not to show messages arranged by conversation. So instead, it will show in truly chronological order if you turn that off.